Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I have a fun video for you. I think this was a tag at one point, and I was kind of looking through my old videos, and I think I've refilmed this video every year for the past 3 years. So I thought I would keep going and just share an updated version with you guys. And today I'm sharing the 10 makeup products that I would purchase first if I had to start all over. So if I lost all of my makeup and I was starting my collection over from the beginning, these are the 10 products that I would absolutely buy. I do have a mix of drugstore and high-end products. I will apply them for you on camera. I'm wearing most of them today, but I didn't actually film myself applying them because I didn't know I was filming this until just a few minutes ago. So I will apply everything on camera so you can see it in action. I think all of these products are available at Ulta. Actually, my foundation is not. That was available at Ulta, but it is no longer sold there. So I'll link everything that I talk about in the description box below. If you guys film YouTube videos, I would love to see your take on this video idea. And if not, I would love to read your comments. So let me know which 10 products or even which 5 products would you start with? Like, what are your true daily must-haves? So I think I'll go in the order of priority. So my number one staple for the past few years has been like a good tinted brow gel, especially a brow gel that has fibers in it, because with all of the mask wearing over the past few years, I wouldn't always take the time to apply base makeup or cheek products or lip products, but I usually would take the time to apply brow gel. And I feel like that's still the case these days. So my number one brow gel right now is the NYX Thick It Stick It Thickening Brow Mascara. I have the shade Espresso, which matches really well. And the reason why I love this formula is because it builds so nicely. So if you do want like a light, soft layer, you can definitely do that, but you can just layer it up to get really good pigmentation, which I feel like is always a nice option if you don't want to take the time to fill in your brows with a brow pencil or a brow pen. This makes it look like I filled my brows in, but I just have to comb it through my brows. So it takes 2 seconds, which is perfect on days where I don't want to take the time to do my brows fully, because I feel like brows can be a very intricate process. It's something that gets out of hand for me. I'll take the time to like start filling them in, and before I know it, I've spent way too long on my brows. So whether I am doing like my full brow routine or something a little bit more simple, this works perfectly. I just comb it upwards and it keeps my brows locked into place. It dries down really well, but because it has fibers in it, it also makes them look really thick, really voluminous. This is such a nice option. I think out of all of the fiber brow gels that I've tried, this one builds the best. There are some good alternatives, like I like the e.l.f. Wow Brow, I also like the Persona Brow Gel, but right now this one truly is my favorite. NYX makes so many good brow products. In fact, I almost mentioned their brow pencil and their brow pen, but because I was narrowing it down to 10 products, I decided to go with this one instead because it is a multitasking product. The Urban Decay Brow Blade has been a staple of mine for years. It is such a good product because you get a brow pencil and a brow pen, and both sides of this product work so well. The brow pencil is very rich, really nice to use because you can definitely draw on hair-like strokes. You can use a little bit more pressure for more of a dramatic brow, or use a soft light hand for a little bit more of a subtle brow. The pencil and the pen stay in place all day long. They do not move. I love this pen because for a long time, brands weren't making good brow pens, and I had tried so many alternatives, and really none of them worked as well as this one. And now there are some good alternatives, but I still love the way that this one applies. It's a really fine tip, so I think it's nice for the front of your brow to draw on hair-like strokes, because sometimes brow pens can get really out of hand quickly, and before you know it, you have Sharpie brows, which I am definitely guilty of too. But some brow pens aren't thin enough or tapered enough, so you don't get like that natural hair-like stroke, whereas you get that every single time with this one. So this really is a staple of mine. I've repurchased it so many times that I've lost count. And like I said, there are other good brow pens at this point, but this is a multitasking product, which is always nice to have. After brows, my next staple is definitely a mascara. When I'm not wearing mascara, it doesn't look like I have any lashes at all. Like, some people can just get away with curling their lashes, or they'll do a lash tint, but my natural lashes are so sparse that they're pretty much non-existent. So even a quick coat of mascara really does make a difference for me. But the Essence Lash Princess Curl and Volume Mascara would be the one that I would grab. It's super inexpensive. It's $5. It works really well. What's nice about this formula is it can be a little bit more subtle if you just go in with a quick coat, or you can build it up to look super dramatic. There are so many mascaras that I love at this point. I feel like brands have been doing such a good job with their formulas, their brushes, but this is just like an easy favorite. It's super inexpensive, and I know that it performs absorbs well, so I would totally grab this one. After brows and mascara, my next essential is definitely a lip product. So the lip product that I chose is the Fenty Gloss Bomb Heat in the shade Hot Chocolate. I love this on days where I'm wearing super minimal makeup or when I'm wearing a lot of makeup. I have this on today over a lip liner, but on days when I skip pretty much all of my makeup, I still love wearing this just because it adds a little something to your look. It makes your lips look really glossy, super pretty, it feels good on the lips, and I like this one because it just has a very subtle hint of color. It's not anything too intense, and the light, cool toned nude goes really well with whatever makeup look I'm wearing. So this is definitely my #1 lip product. I kind of thought about choosing a lip balm, but I feel like this kind of doubles as a lip balm for me because even once it wears off, my lips feel so glossy. No, they don't feel glossy. They feel so soft and hydrated. So after those products, my next go-to products would definitely be base products. And my favorite foundation for the past year has been the Catrice True Skin Hydrating Foundation. So sadly, Catrice is no longer at Ulta. I wasn't really trying to choose like all Ulta Beauty brands. That's just kind of how it worked out. So I would have to order this one online, but I love this foundation so much. It looks so good on my skin. I'm wearing it today. I've had it on for a little while at this point, but I will apply it on camera so you can see what it looks like. What's nice about this is that it's really customizable. If you use a damp beauty sponge, you can definitely shear it out and press it into the skin so it looks a little bit more natural, or you can build it up and get really good coverage as well. It wears so well on my skin. It stays in place all day long, and I just think it is one of the best foundations I've tried. It's $11, but it feels like a $50 foundation in my opinion. I think last year I mentioned the ColourPop Pretty Fresh foundation, which I also love, but this one you can build up a little bit better than that one. So I just feel like this is such a good foundation, and honestly, I don't really reach for a lot of the other foundations in my collection these days because this one is so customizable. I can just blend it out on more natural days, build it up on more full coverage days, and I love it. It really is like my ideal foundation. If I only had 10 products, I would probably just skip face primer. I do wear face primer pretty much every time I wear foundation, but there are days where I will skip it. If I'm in a big hurry, I won't always take the time to apply primer, or I'll just kind of like go in and haphazardly throw it on my face. So because I only had 10 products, I didn't include a primer, but I did include a concealer. This is the Too Faced Born This Way concealer. At this point, I do have a lot of concealers that I love. I almost chose the ABH Magic Touch concealer, but I don't know, I like this formula just a little bit better. It's super lightweight, but it blends out so quickly. It feels so nice on the skin. Like, it doesn't feel like you're wearing a lot of product. It doesn't look like you're wearing a lot of product. It just has this beautiful, almost like natural satin finish, but it stays in place really well even on my oily skin. Even on like a 90-degree day, this product stays in place. One other thing that I love about this concealer is such a good touch-up product. If I'm wearing my makeup for like 5 or 6 hours and I'm leaving the house or I'm doing something else and I feel like I need to touch up certain areas of my makeup, this product is perfect. You can totally layer this on top of powder. So for example, if I have a breakout and I feel like my foundation has faded in that area, I'll just take a super small amount of this product and just gently tap it into my skin with my finger. And because it is such a lightweight concealer, it just layers on top of that powder really nicely. And then I'll just set it with some translucent powder and my makeup is touched up and I'm ready to go. I'm not going to go in with a wand and like reapply it that way and try to smooth out a ton of the product on my skin, but just for like a quick on-the-go touch-up, this is perfect. My next must-have is a powder. I would definitely go with the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop Mattifying Powder. The reason why I love this is because it definitely locks my foundation into place all day long, but it's also such a good touch-up powder because it has a really smooth finish. You can just kind of tap it onto any areas that are really oily or maybe looking pretty textured throughout the day, and it just instantly smooths over those areas and makes your skin look really nice. This powder does have a little bit of coverage to it, so you can go in with a damp beauty sponge to really build up that coverage, or you can just use like a big fluffy brush for a soft, diffused look as well. So this really is my #1 powder right now. I think it looks so good on the skin. It's definitely a matte powder, so if you have dry skin, you'll probably want to avoid it, but if you have oily skin like me and you're looking for a smoothing powder with a little bit of coverage, this is perfect. The next product that I would choose is a bronzer, so I went with this one, the Flower Beauty Heatwave Luminous Luminous bronzer in the shade Sunrise. The reason why I love this is because, first of all, it looks so smooth on the skin. It just blends out in 2 seconds. It has a super, super light texture, but it also has pretty good pigmentation. So it really doesn't take a lot of product to show up on the skin. In fact, I feel like I usually go in with too much and then I'll go in and try to blend some of it away. But it looks so nice on the skin. It's very lightweight, really smooth. It kind of doubles as like a bronzer blush for me. It definitely has more of a red tone compared to some of my other bronzers, so I love the way that it looks. In fact, when I wear it, I'll usually just skip blush altogether. And I don't have a blush in today's video. I like blush, but I don't feel like it's a true daily staple for me, so something like this is perfect because it's like a bronzer blush hybrid and it just kind of covers both. And whenever I do wear it, it does feel like I'm wearing blush as well, and I'll just skip it, especially for like a quick, easy makeup look. I will also use this in the crease, which is really nice when I'm doing simple eye makeup, because instead of taking the time to pull out an eyeshadow palette, I'll just take this, blend it into the crease, and sometimes I'll skip a lid shade, and I just think it adds a little definition to my eyes without being too much. The next product that I would choose would definitely be an eyeshadow palette. I do love eyeshadow, but it's a little bit lower on my priority list if I only had 10 products to choose from. So I would go with one of these. If it was the spring or summertime, I would choose ColourPop's Nude Mood. This is more of a warm-toned neutral palette. This has a lot of my staple products. In fact, I just repurchased this one not too long ago because I had hit pan on multiple shades in my other one. I also dropped it, so one of the shades shattered, and since then I've hit pan on like that really light shade, which I typically use as a highlight, and I've made good progress on a couple of the other ones, but I just love the colors in here for an everyday look. It's really easy to wear, but you can also add like a fun lid color with that beautiful gold in the middle. Now, if it was the fall or the winter, I'd have to go with more of a cool toned palette because during the fall and the winter, I usually do reach for cool tones. So I would go with ColourPop's That's Taupe, which is what I have on my eyes today. This is definitely one of my all-time favorite palettes. I love that it's cooler toned, but you also get some pinky tones in here, a lot of staple neutrals. I was trying to decide which palette to choose for this video. I wasn't sure if I would go with a high-end palette or if I would go with a quad. I was kind of thinking about one of the e.l.f. bite-sized palettes, but these two ColourPop palettes have been absolute staples for me ever since they were first released. So I would definitely go with one of these, just depending on what time of the year it was. The shadows perform really well, the colors are beautiful, and it's always nice to have like staple colors you know you'll wear all the time. The 10th product that I would choose would be a highlighter. Again, I do like highlighter, but it's not necessarily at the top of my priority list. So if I was starting all over, I don't know that I would buy a ton of highlighters. My collection would probably have just like, you know, a handful of colors, maybe like 3 or 4 at the very most. So my number one highlighter is the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in the shade Champagne Pop. They actually make a mini, which is still available on Ulta's website. I would totally grab that because that highlighter formula lasts forever. I'm pretty sure the one that I have in my collection was the one that I got when it first launched, which was years and years ago. The formula is still good. It hasn't expired yet, so that's the reason why I still use it, but I have actually hit pan on that, but that is the only highlighter that I've ever hit pan on because it takes so long to get through highlighters, and I wear that one all the time, so I would definitely just go for a mini if I was starting all over. So those are the 10 products that I would choose. If I could throw in extra products, I might include like a face primer, a lip liner, a blush, but that's pretty much it. I feel like these really are like my tried and true daily staples. I reach for them pretty much every single time I wear makeup, whether I'm doing something a little bit softer and more natural or something a little bit more dramatic like I have on today. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I had a lot of fun filming it. Let me know in the comment section below which products you would choose first if you were starting all over. I think it would be so much fun to read through your comments, and I will see you guys very soon with a new video. Bye.